Friday, February 16th. Going to the Social District Boutique and Bistro. We're going to try and be funny for 20 people. All right, I am not short or Mexican, so we'll see how this goes. Didn't know there was a standard. My name is Chase. Like I said, I am from here, and I was 31 before I got married, which means every family party I went to up to that point, someone would always come up and say, "Well, still not married yet, huh?" I'd be like, "Yeah, well, also not divorced yet. That feels pretty good." Right? Because divorce is kind of scary, especially from a man's side of it. A couple gets married, they build a life, then they get divorced, and then the man has to move out. He no longer has a white picket fence and plate glass windows. He has a one-bedroom apartment with a plate, a glass, and a window. First time I ever told that joke, the lady in the front started cheering because she said she left her husband without life. To which I said it sounded like he got the better end of the deal. All right, I eventually did get married when I was 31. My wife is 6 years older than me. We met online. We met on Ancestry.com. I am 37. She is 43. If anything in our marriage goes wrong, her next husband's probably 27. And my next wife is one of those golden girls who was up here earlier. I hear they have good credit. Six years older than me. That means when my wife graduated high school, I was still in recess, right? Like, I remember being in elementary school, seeing high school girls drive by, being like, "Oh, someday." Little did I know she's looking at elementary kids going, "Someday." She tells me these jokes are getting old. I'm like, "Yeah, but so are you." All right, don't owe that. She's earned it, okay? So look, you have to understand, with me, love comes from insults. The meaner you can be to me and I can be back, the more I need you in my life. And I married her, okay? So just to give you an example, I won a comedy competition a few years ago, and I sent her a text telling her I had won. And she responded to me and said, "Just because you came in first doesn't mean you're a winner." Yeah. So like, again, some of you might be thinking something insulting about me, and after the show, I would love to hear it. And if you don't have something, I'll give you a freebie. I know that I look and sound like Napoleon Dynamite had a baby with Ray Romano, okay? Yeah. It is true. That's my favorite part about the joke, is someone always goes, "Oh, that's so true." No shit. All right. I am from Utah, and I grew up in a very diverse family. There's a lot of diversity in my family, much like this room. This might be the whitest room I've ever seen. I feel like if all of us were on the Titanic, all of us would have been just fine. No one would have died trying to find us, okay? You see, my stepmom is Chilean, my stepbrother's Chilean. I've got my older sister married a guy from Vietnam. I've got 2 Vietnamese nephews, and my little sister was adopted from Thailand. I'm the minority in my own family, right? Like, you chuckle, but it's pretty messed up getting called Uncle Cracker every Christmas, right? I love being from a family like that because I feel like I'm pretty cultured for the most part, but every now and then I come off as a little bit culturally unaware, and something will happen and I'll have to step back and be like, "Ooh, that was wrong." Like, I tried to watch Straight Outta Compton. You guys ever seen Straight Outta Compton? Yeah. It took me 20 minutes to realize I was actually watching Space Jam 2. Cartoon LeBron looked like real life Eazy-E, so. Anyone in here from Cedar City? Yeah, that whole town is culturally unaware, all right? If you drive into Cedar City from the north side, there is a sign that says BLM and points to the left. Now, I know in this case, BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. I know that. But in our climate and culture, BLM is much more known as Black Lives Matter. And if someone is to look at that sign and interpret it as Black Lives Matter, they'll notice that that sign points directly to the county jail. That is not a joke. Go there tomorrow and take a picture. It is right there on the far north end of town. I hear Salt Lake is trying to get a hockey team, which is cool. And then someone wrote an article asking if Salt Lake City was too white for hockey. And they said that Salt Lake City is 76% white. And I was like, so is the NHL. That one was new. That's why you guys didn't laugh at that one. I'm a stepdad, and I've got 2 little kids as well. And it's kind of cool because they all kind of want to be like each other. My 2-year-old wants to be like my 4-year-old. My 4-year-old wants to be like my stepson. My stepson wants to be just like his dad. That scares me because I'm going to end up with 3 kids with tattoos on their face that never pay child support. Yeah. Well, let's talk about him some more. My wife's, here's the thing. If I'm ever doing something that my stepson doesn't like, all he has to do is threaten to tell his dad on me, and I'll fold. Because his dad has a tattoo on his face, right? Like, I don't know if you know this. People have a tattoo on their face. They're not bluffing, right? Like, if they say they're going to do something, they're clearly going to do it, except pay child support. All right. I used to make fun of the fact that people would say being a mom is the hardest job in the world. And I don't make fun of that anymore because I had to be a stay-at-home dad for an entire day once. And now I think moms are borderline superheroes, and I'll justify this because I know there's a lot of husbands and fathers who go to jobs that they are miserable at just to provide for their families, and that's not nothing. But remember, when you're at your job, you can still go pee with the door shut because you don't have to worry about whether or not your boss is going to choke to death on a Cheerio. All right. I saw a great example of a good parent the other day. There was someone, their kid was complaining that his dad wouldn't buy him a car, and his dad said, go get a job. And he said, I need you to buy me a car so I can go to job interviews. And dad said, I'll buy you a bus pass. And he said, do you know what kind of people ride the bus? And his dad said, yeah, people with jobs. That's a damn good father right there. All right. What do you do for work? The film industry. That's very vague. Motion, that's what film is, motion pictures. Got it, OnlyFans. So you're a porn director. That's awesome. Looks like you have a couch of auditions right here. I'm sorry. What was your name? Christian. All right. Do you like politically correct jokes? Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going to tell one that's not politically correct. Is that okay, Kristen? I read recently that it is politically incorrect to call someone a douchebag now. That is off the, yeah, look at the disappointment there. Don't worry. I'll tell you the new term. The correct term for douchebag is Christian. All right, moving on. All right, I like I said, I'm a parent with young kids and old kids, and I'm scared that the older they get, I'm not going to be able to separate when I need to my comedic brain from my parenting brain. Like, eventually we're going to get in an argument, and one of them is going to say something to me horrible. One of them is going to call me something like an MF. Well, do I calmly talk about that like a parent, or does my comedic brain kick in and say, well, I might be an MF, but remember, it's your M that I F. Now let me clarify, the reason I say M and F is because I'm from Utah, and that's how I learned how to swear. If I just say the first letters, for some reason, God won't count it. But that's the thing, because in Utah, we've decided we don't have to pronounce words the same as other people, right? Like, we have a lot of good hikes around here. We don't go hiking in the mountains. We go hiking in the mountains, right? We have a city in southern Utah spelled hurricane. We pronounce it hurricane, right? For no reason at all. And sometimes we'll change an entire phrase. We don't say I need to go to the doctor. We say, here's some essential oils. We don't say we got married late in life. We say we disappointed our parents, right? We don't call it segregation. We call it BYU. All right, so let's talk about essential oils for a minute. I got kicked out of a meeting for making a joke at an essential oils sales pitch. Yeah, because the lady doing the sales pitch told me that her husband used to struggle with low testosterone until she rubbed some oil on him, and then he was fine. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Don't jump ahead. Apparently what this lady doesn't understand that Christian is an expert at is that to men, any oil can be essential. So I rose my hand and I asked her, what oil does she use if that oil lasts for more than 4 hours? She told me if I couldn't take it seriously, I needed to leave. So I got up, took my free samples, went home and boosted my testosterone. One time a lady told me that joke made her uncomfortable. I'm like, her husband has low testosterone. It's like, don't worry, they have an oil for that. Listen, I'm almost done. You guys are a lot of fun. Don't be done. Okay. Thanks, Mom. I'm just kidding. You're not my mom. My mom's dead. It's been 20 years, okay? Listen, I have a very callous sense of humor about it. Because it's been 20 years, I've done my crying, and there's nothing else to do but make fun of it at this point. I got offered to do a show in Hilldale, Utah. Hilldale is awesome. And if you don't know about Hilldale, it is stereotypically known as a very large polygamous community. And you've heard my jokes. I'm scared I'm going to get on stage and say something like, wow, it's great to be performing here at The Handmaid's Tale. Take 5 seconds for someone to get mad at me and be like, sir, there's kids here. And be like, okay, well, kid, my mom's dead. Can I borrow one of yours? All right, let's just see how dark you're willing to go with me on this. My older sister and I worry people when it comes to talking about our mom. And just to give you an example of our sense of humor, she sent me a text on Mother's Day saying, roses are red, violets are blue. My mom is dead, but yours is too. To me, that poem is not finished yet, so I had to finish it. And I responded and said, well, if Mom were alive, what would she do? I've been to jail and you have tattoos. This world's getting crazy, that can't be denied. At the end of the day, Mom's glad she died. And people say, well, what would your mom think about these jokes? Well, my mom went to 29 Barry Manilow concerts, so yeah, this might seem a little blue. And if you don't know who Barry Manilow is, congratulations. 29 Barry Manilow concerts? She would have gone to 30, but, you know. I'd rather die too before I went to 30 Barry Manilow concerts. All right, who's on a date? Someone's on a date in here. Who is it? Oh, don't lie. Someone in here's on a date. No one? We're just all friendly losers in this building? All right, good. I'm glad no one's on a date because I hate dating. I'm glad I'm married. I hope if I don't, if something goes wrong in this marriage, I'm never dating again. It's not happening. And the reason I don't like dating is I don't like exes. I don't like my ex. I don't like my wife's ex. And if any of you have exes out here, I hate them too. All right? Yeah. You cheer, but you're someone else's ex, and that means I hate you too. So, the reason the thing with ex is like someone always gets hurt, right? And then it's awkward, especially if you have one of your friends that wants to date your ex. They'll come up to you and be like, dude, you're gonna hate me if I date your ex. It's like, dude, if you date her, you'll hate yourself. All right, I'm losing you. Let's end on a good one. I am 37, like I said, I'm getting older, closer to that middle-age point, but there's still things I'm grateful for that I can claim in my youth. Like, I'm grateful that I am old enough to be able to honestly say that I never once had to eat Wheaties out of Bruce Jenner's box. That is all my time. Thank you guys very much.